from the dead is a miracle, doc. They counted me out. Moment of truth, counting it down. Underdog story was down for the count. Back on my feet, back with a mic, back on the beat, back with a family that bang in the streets. The game on lock, I stand with a key. Standing my ground, I am planning to flee. Standing my ground, I am planting my feet. Taking a stand, embracing my destiny, shaking his hand. Flipping the script, changing the plans. Up to the top and I'm taking the fans. Making them jump, making them dance. Making them jump, making them dance. We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the skies. We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them
こんにちは。
こんにちは。
今日もお願いします。
いつもありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
全部変わってるから。
それ以上見られたら恥ずかしいんで。